Once again, welcome everyone to our Tuesday evening product presentation. We carry the theme, good health is a choice. And I really believe that. I don't think that we need to be a victim of a situation. I don't think that our resources need to confine us. I don't think our demographics need to confine us. I don't think anyone has control over who we are and how we feel. I think it's a choice. It's up to us because we can choose to access and tap into information that's available to us, or we can choose to stick with the status quo. It's our choice. But you've made a choice to be here tonight, and I applaud you for that. And thank you for helping me to appreciate that you perceive there to be some value in this presentation tonight. And I will do my best to try to make it worth your while. I believe that the information that we have is absolutely the best pieces of information available as far as health and nutrition is concerned on the planet right now. This is the best source of information right now. My name is Jonathan Jones. It's my pleasure and privilege to be your host and moderator for this evening. Today is Tuesday, and it's September the 6th, 2022, and it's just a little after 7:35 right now. As I mentioned, our theme is good health is a choice. So we'd like to just kind of start out by showing you something just real briefly. And when I say real brief, I'm going to set it up by two things. The first thing I'm going to do is just show you this brochure, which is going to be part of our discussion for the evening. This brochure I have come to appreciate is just packed with incredibly valuable information. And I think everyone should make sure that you add this to your library. Make sure you've got the digital copy of it available. Make sure you have access to this. And if you are an affiliate, you should make sure that you're readily able to access this brochure in the Engage Global app. And even if you're not an affiliate, you have access to and can install the Engage Global app and use this to share it with folks. Because as you can see, right on the very cover of this brochure, the title of it is Daily Nutrition to Live Your Best Life. And if you're making the choice to have good health, you need to know what's in this. Because what's in this document is information about the world's most scientifically validated micronutrient supplements. And that is not an overstatement. It is not hyperbole. It's not an exaggeration by any stroke of the imagination. It truly is, because this product was originally contracted by the United States government for the United States military. That was the original purpose behind this product coming into existence. So you can see the original packaging there. The packaging was folded in half. You can kind of make it out there down below the bubble pack there in the center right part of the stage, just above where those soldiers are. It was designed to fold flat and to fit inside their army fatigues. That's what this was. It was called Military Micronutrient Formula, nicknamed MMF. That's what the product was. The United States government contacted really all it was available to all vitamin manufacturers in the country to fill the call. Anyone could have stepped up. One a day multivitamin, Flintstone could have stepped up. Anybody who makes vitamins could have stepped up. But the only one who did, in fact, step up was Dr. Kedar Prasad. He said, I can handle this. He'd already been doing quite a bit of research. He knew a little something about micronutrients before this. He'd already been a professor at the University of Colorado for many, many, many years. But by the time 2003, 2004 came along, all the animal studies were completed, and it was the safety tests were done. Human clinical trials were completed by 2005, and then finally, the product itself was made available to be used for what it was contracted for. It's an amazing, amazing product. And this is the man behind it, Dr. Kedar Prasad. And before you say to yourself that, well, he's just another scientist, or, well, he's just another doctor, please don't make the mistake of categorizing this man in that way, because he's not normal by any stroke of the imagination. I've already mentioned to you that for 30 years, he was a professor at the University of Colorado. But beyond that, also, he had many other amazing accolades. One of the ones that's my favorite is the fact that he was the world's first radiation biology PhD. He decided that somebody needed to give some attention to the possibility of radiation doing damage to the human body. He decided that it was just common knowledge and common sense that radiation would damage DNA of the cell. We had a beautiful discussion about this past Sunday, where he explained how that damage done to one cell, caused by radiation or any other means, is just basically a license for cancer to begin to develop in the body. He became the world's first radiation biology PhD. So he was focusing in the right place. He also is the man who is credited with discovering that vitamin E succinate was cytotoxic to cancer cells. So cytotoxic means will kill cancer cells. He's the man who figured out that vitamin E succinate is cytotoxic to cancer cells. He's also the man who is credited with noting that butyric acid also had anti-cancer properties. Since his discovery, some 400 to 500 different medical papers have been written about butyric acid, but he was the first one to document that information. He's now authored some 32 books, not 29 like you see right there in this brochure. It's 32 now. And I really think everybody should make sure that you take note of, and maybe if someone can do this, put a link to his newest book, Dementia Memory Loss, in the chat, please. It's available on Amazon. It's only like $18, but everybody should make sure you get a copy of this book. And with that, you'll understand how much micro daily that everybody should be taking. And by the way, we're going to touch on this in just a moment, this thing about the brain, and that's why we're focusing a little bit on collagen. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. We'll come back to this book as well. But anyway, you would want to make sure that you do that. But he's also been published some 250 times in peer review medical journals. So, but before we go on to talk about spotlight one of his discoveries, we'd like for you to hear a story. It's a story about, I know it's not a story about a lovely lady with 3 girls and married some guy. Anyway, it's this is Michi Morris. And Michi Morris's mother was suffering for 10 years with dementia. And that's what connects us to our whole thought here. It actually wasn't dementia. It was the most advanced form of dementia. It was Alzheimer's. So Jeff Ashby is acting as co-host tonight, where he's gonna show us this video. He's gonna let us see this story. So I think you should really just focus in and just pay careful attention to what Michi Morris says that she observed in her mother after she began to add micronutrients to her diet. What you're about to hear, folks, is a story that that we will share with us. If we can get Michi on the screen with us. Okay, there she is. So you're about to hear a discussion, with Michi that she shared with us a couple of weeks ago. That was quite interesting, quite compelling. She had no idea that we were going to be talking at all about anything having to do with the brain. But Michi, if you would just tell us, first of all, tell us a little bit about your mom's condition and then what you observed as she began to add nutrition to her diet.
Yes, my mother is an Alzheimer's person, and she's been that way for about 10 years. But I've been taking care of her here at home. And each year around about her birthday, around about April, I would see more declining. She was doing pretty good. Some sentences, kind of washing her face. Even now she's sitting over here. She would fold her clothes. I would give her a basket of clothes and she could, fold the clothes or little hand towels up until about the first of this year. Well, around about February, March, everything just kind of stopped. She wasn't doing any of it. And the washing the face, getting out of the tub, she couldn't do any of that since about 2019. And so I was sharing that about 3 weeks ago, I started her on the collagen once a day. I would put it in her Ensure, and sometime we would put it in the cereal, and maybe about one brain boost. And one day in the shower, I turned around to get some more soap, and she just stepped out of the shower. 1, 2, she was out of the shower. And I'm like, whoa, be careful. And then I got her back in the shower, and I was like, why don't you try and wash your face? Not only did she wash her face, she washed her neck and continued to wash her entire body. And just kind of skipping over some things I even shared with the neighbors. We took her walking on a walker, and they were like, oh, we haven't seen her in a while. And they started calling her name. Her name is actually Queen. They call her Miss Queen. And she started waving at them. And they was like, wow, she's doing really well. And so even on this week, now, mind you, I went over to see about my brother that I shared that has the pancreatic cancer. So I had not given her the collagen. I think I only gave it to her Monday and Tuesday, perhaps on Wednesday, but Thursday and Friday, I did not give it to her. Well, I get it. We got another shipment in, and I gave it to her yesterday. And I gave her the brain boost on yesterday. Well, last night when we were getting ready to go to bed, and I know you said you wanted to know anything she did, even if it's a toothpick. We were getting ready to go to bed, and she loves to try and make up her bed. Well, I wish I would have had my camera. She got in the bed and crawled on all fours to go over to the other side to make her bed. And that blew me away. She has not done that, anything remotely like that, in about 5 years. And I'm like, wow. And she crawled back and came on the other side. And of course, I tried to get her to do it again. And of course, she wouldn't. And this morning, when I went to get her up before church, she was already up, sitting on the side of her bed. And she doesn't get up on her own. So she was just sitting on the side of the bed, and I'm like, oh, wow, look at you. And of course, she sat there a while. And then this evening, when I went to get something to eat, and I wrote it down, and I told my husband I wasn't going to share with him until I got online. But when I went to Publix to get something to eat, and I came back, she was sitting on the sofa, and she was laying down. And I said, hi, Ma. And she goes, I'm just laying here. I just washed some things, and I laid over here on the bed. 2 sentences. She has never, ever done that. And I gave her the collagen this morning, and I gave her a brain boost and a micro daily. And she patted the sofa for her bed. She said, I'm just laying here on the bed. I just washed. She couldn't get the whole sentence. I just washed some things. I'm just laying here. And tears on the inside. I could not believe she was able to get those many words out. And I'm like, something is going on here. Something is going on here, because I have not given her anything but that collagen and that brain boost. And that was with 2 days of even skipping it. So something is happening. Something is happening.
It sure sounds like it to us. And thank you very much for sharing the story and giving us an update on that, Michi Morris. We look forward to further updates. That is just absolutely amazing. Every time we hear that story, it almost it just kind of blows the mind to hear it. But focus in on exactly what she said. Her mother had not put 2 sentences together in, she said ever, but it had been many years that she had not put 2 sentences together like that. So she made some amazing progress with 2 of the products, 2 formulas that Dr. Prasad put together. That's what she credits us with. No, did my screen go frozen?
Yeah, you got froze on us. You froze up, but you're back.
Yeah, that's just wonderful. So she says that her mom had not put two sentences together like that in a long time, and it's kind of it's hard to even imagine how she must have felt when her mother came back and was able to put a couple sentences together and comment. She took control of bathing herself. She stepped out of the tub. And this from someone who's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I remember asking Dr. Prasad about this. So, what would it take for someone to not continue to now? Alzheimer's and dementia is a regressive condition. Once you have it, you simply continue to go in the wrong direction. It's not one of those things where all of a sudden you start getting better because you get some aspirins or some anything in your system. You just continue to to digress, I guess is the expression. So how is it this could happen? And Dr. Prasad said, well, something in her brain must have improved. The damage to her neurons must have been repaired. And that kind of brings us to the other part of our discussion. We're not going to spend a huge amount of time on this, but I think it would be good for us to spend at least a little bit of time, because this brings us to the discussion that I feel that we need to have about the product Collagen Daily. And I think everyone should take seriously just how good Collagen Daily is. It's Dr. Prasad who believes that Collagen Daily is going to eclipse Micro Daily in its value and the attention that people are going to give to it. He really feels that this is going to be the best product that this company is making available. And you notice the number one benefit of Collagen Daily: improved memory by removing beta amyloids. Beta amyloids kills cholinergic neurons responsible for storing memory from the brain. I still remember it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I got a phone call from Dr. Nakuzi, Dr. Jarir Nakuzi. And a lot of times he won't say hello. He won't say, how's everything going? He just says, I have just been doing some research. It's the beta amyloids that build up in the brain. That's what causes Alzheimer's. I said, okay, and that matters. Why? Because you must detox that, and it has to come out of the brain, and the detox formulas that are blah, blah, blah. Like, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. But the only thing I remembered was he said beta amyloids, and this is the first time I'd ever heard of it until Dr. Prasad came along with this product. One of the things that this does is remove those beta amyloids, and the Michi Morris saga seems to indicate that that's exactly what it did. So these are just some of the benefits of this amazing product. Oh, drop down 2 more bullet points, right? Collagen binding with beta amyloids, making them non-toxic. Now that's pretty powerful also, because those beta amyloids, now you can see earlier it says that it kills neurons, and this is how it does it. It neutralizes them by making them non-toxic. And I love the next one. The next 2 down actually are extremely good to pay attention to. No, the 2 from the bottom: reduce osteoarthritis pain and reduce symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm sure that there are some of you here today that may be able to share a story or 2 with how that's been the case. In fact, if we have time, I'd love to hear Adelina share with us again her observations as the results that she got when she added the Collagen Daily to her regimen. So collagen is what holds everything in our body together. Everything in the body together. It represents 30% of the total protein in the body. So muscles hold together, skin holds together, everything is held together by collagen. And there's 28 different types of collagen. So type 1, 3, and 6 are the most common. Type 1 and 2 are represent 80% of the collagen in the body. But you get that other 10%, that makes up the type 3. And type 3 is tied up in muscles. The one that is really kind of not spoken about a whole lot and not really represented in this screen, except that it's mentioned on the left side there, is the type 6 that's in the brain. So how is it that this particular collagen that we have is taken from type 1 and type 2? How is it that it has any impact on type 6? It's because it's a peptide. It's not specifically that collagen, it's the peptide that becomes a specific type of collagen. So your body actually is like the chemistry factory. Your body actually does the hard work of converting it to the type of collagen that it needs. So that's what happens. These are collagen peptides. And as you can see from the first bullet point, they're easily converted in our body to amino acids, which is readily absorbed in the intestine. So that's what the body will use to make the specific kind of collagen that's needed. The ones that's of brain health, type 1 and type 2, converted into type 6, which the brain needs. That's what we were just talking about. Well, what causes us to have problems with collagen in our body? Well, just aging. Aging by itself makes us lose collagen. Dr. Prasad said at the age of 20, our collagen levels start to go down. There is, in fact, a protein in the body that starts to reduce collagen in the body. Sunlight and free radicals that come from exogenous sources like smoking and otherwise. And also all the way to the right of the screen, sugar. And that all causes us to lose collagen. As a result, we start to look older. Skin gets to be a little saggy. And we lose the moisture in our skin, becomes kind of scaly and less elastic. It doesn't bounce back like it used to. So tendons and ligaments become weak. You see, our mind, we think we can still do the same things that we used to do. Like we can run around and play basketball and do all kinds of things. But then when you try to make a fast cut, and all of a sudden you pop ligaments and tendons in your knee, that happens because the collagen, everything has become weaker because collagen is deteriorating in the body. It's also connected to bone loss and bone density in menopausal women. So now the question is, how do we neutralize that? Well, we all know that, of course, our discussion here has to do with the specific formulation that Dr. Prasad has put together, but he's done something very interesting. He identified an enzyme that stops the loss of collagen. So what we have, there's some enzymes that inhibit the loss. And that's the only way to really kind of think about this. Keep in mind, that's what's added to the collagen that we have. So hyaluronic acid, and the enemy of hyaluronic acid, that's the good guys and the bad guys. And they both all have their different worlds here. You can see them mentioned here. The bottom line is that if we have the good guys, enough of the good guys in our body, it helps the body maintain its moisture and helps the body to maintain its elasticity. Now, if we add to the whole mix, this is what the elastin is. Those are the good guys versus the bad guys. But this is the slide that I really want to get to. So the previous two slides just show the components that's needed to stop our body from losing moisture and losing its elasticity. And this is the one item here that sets this particular collagen apart from all the others, is this enzyme inhibitor. Now, Dr. Prasad went in and found research papers that identified that the amla fruit and white tea, that they are responsible for blocking or inhibiting these enzymes, right? This enzyme inhibitor. He found papers on that. He didn't write the papers, but he identified the papers. It was significant to him because he remembered the amla fruit as a child, just growing on trees back in India. And then add to that this extract from white tea. Put those both together, and you have something that now blocks the enzymes that we lose. The enzymes that come along that cause us to lose our collagen. So the good guys: collagen peptide, hyaluronic acid, and enzyme inhibitors. The bad guys: free radicals and all these other things. Let's go back here one more time. That cause our skin and our health to degrade. Free radicals is right smack in the middle of it, and these other components that cause our skin to degrade. and our health to degrade. The guys on the left, those are the good guys. The guys on the left, that's what's in the collagen peptide that Dr. Prasad has formulated. So go on the market, go to Amazon, go into any health food store, and you'll see a whole bunch of average products. The better ones have hyaluronic acid in them. Those are the better collagens. There are walls of collagens in most stores, but there is only one company on the whole face of the earth that has hyaluronic acid and enzyme inhibitors. Only one company in the world that has it. Only one scientist has put them all together into one single formula. Our product is unique. It's patent pending, collagen peptides, hyaluronic acid, and enzyme inhibitors. That's the screening right there that makes this product different from any other product in the world between this screen and the previous screen. So keep that in mind. So all the different benefits, we told you the story at the very beginning. All the beauty stuff is very nice. That's all very wonderful. And most women will buy it just because of the beauty benefits of it. But keep in mind what we talked about at the very beginning, that business about beta amyloids. And that's serious, folks. That thing about beta amyloids is very serious because right now, because of COVID, one of the things that's coming up a lot is COVID brain. And toward the end of the month, we're going to have a detailed discussion with Dr. Prasad about this. But this is his book, and this is what the book looks like. So make sure that you go find that. In there, he's got the doses of micronutrients that a person would want to take and how much collagen, peptides, and all the details, and why it is that what we see there is happening to the brain. But they've measured it, folks. They now have proved, and you can Google this yourself. Just go online and Google brain shrinkage COVID. Just Google that. And you'll see that there's studies that have come out now that's showing that COVID is actually causing the brain to shrink. They're measuring it. They had some images of a group of people that they took prior to the outbreak. And then some of the same group of people, a large group of people, they did brain scans again post-COVID, during the pandemic, after exposure. A variety of them had been exposed, some with vaccines and some not, but they had measurable amounts of brain shrinkage. There's currently an outbreak in some organizations of premature dementia setting in right now. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm trying to say this is nobody's imagination, and it's no joke. We need to be doing something about this. This is part of the equation. And the fact that it could have such a dramatic effect on Michi Morris's mom tells you something. You want to keep what you got. You don't want to don't want to be at a point where you risk having it. And Dr. Prasad very interestingly said that in his research, he found out that if you add vitamin C to collagen peptides, it amplifies its efficacy. So not just vitamin C and antioxidants. So what's that saying? And this is not because he was just trying to make an argument for micronutrients, but what an argument for micronutrients it is. Adding antioxidants, including vitamin C, to collagen peptides makes it work even better. Maximum efficacy when you combine them together. So there you have it. You just can't beat it. We have the most brilliant scientist in the world who has brought to us another unbelievable product. And remember that it's from bovine sources, but they're grass-fed animals, all non-GMO, there's no gluten, and it's dairy-free, third-party tested. The best way to take it, in my opinion, is, by the way, the scoop comes out and there's 2/3 of a scoop. So you don't have to use a full scoop, just use 2/3 of a scoop. It just happened to be the one that they could find at the time. But you can mix it right in tea or coffee. It's completely tasteless. I have tried it in both. So any kind of a warm liquid, it dissolves best in warm liquid. So I'm going back to the screen here for a second. That's the best. You can cook it into something if you prefer. You can do whatever you want to with it. You can just add it into something, but just make sure you're getting the full serving. And you want to get 2 of those scoops twice per day, 1 twice per day, right? So 1 in the morning and 1 in the evening. is the best. And remember, it's 2/3 of the scoop. It does not have to be the full scoop, but it needs to be more than half scoop. So sorry about that, showing you the introductory price. I apologize. I gotta update that because I think the price right now is $64.99, and you might want to hurry up and get that too. Oops, I'm sorry for showing you that price too, because that's no longer available. Those prices are just not available. Those are part of the introductory prices. But just get back to the person who invited you to this discussion, and they'll help you to get the best price, because even the price that's available today is still 25% discount off the retail price if you get it on subscription, and you want to make sure that you do that. So get it on subscription, and you still will get the 25% discount on the product. Okay, so there you have it in a nutshell. Our focus in on the collagen peptide, and let's see here. I see someone says that they are only taking a quarter of a scoop once a day because she's running out. Oh yeah, well, we can't tell you what to do. Take a quarter of a scoop. All we can do is tell you that Dr. Prasad recommends 2/3 of a scoop. And I have noticed that I'm running out too, but I'm running out because everybody in the house is dipping into my stash. So I got 2 bottles in here, 2 canisters in my little office here right now that I'm not gonna let anybody find, so that I don't run out anymore, because I've been about a week and a half without it. The minute that I went back on it, I was having a pain here in my hand, by the way. And I went right back on it again, and it dropped by like 95%. It was kind of surprising. So I was glad of that, because I was starting to drop things and didn't know why. So that just tells you that Micro Daily by itself does not solve every problem. It's phenomenal with everything, but we still can't quite figure out what's going on in my hand as to why the collagen was needed to correct this problem versus Micro Daily itself. So anyway, so there we have it. There we have it in a nutshell. Try to keep it as tight as possible, because we want to hear the other components here from Lunch and Learn. But before we transition to what we heard earlier today at this amazing meeting with Dr. Roberts and David Nemelka, Adelina, could you come on, please, for just a minute and tell us what your experience has been with adding Collagen Daily to your diet? You mentioned it last week, but it was buried deep into one of our discussions. If you're still on, are you still on, Adelina?
I am. I'm still on.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can find you so we can add you to the screen here. Oh, there you are. Okay. If you don't mind, adding? Yeah, we can hear you. We just can't see you yet. That's all. So
I know.
okay. All right. So that's by design. Okay. Well, go ahead. We'll hear your story. Please tell us.
Okay. Well, first, I'm so happy that you suggested the EMF, because I got on that, and that has been just a huge difference with me having so many things that I was dealing with. So the EMF has been wonderful. I had swelling in my legs and ankles and feet. They were badly swollen. I got on the EMF, hadn't had a problem at all. I wish I could send you. I can send you a before and after.
Yeah,
Okay.
please do. So you had shrink in your ankles. So that's like a form of lymphedema.
Yeah, I mean, it was really bad. And
wow.
Hadn't had any episodes with my sarcoidosis. It's been clear, no problem. The asthma, no problem. Haven't used the pump thing, the inhaling thing, for I know about 8 months, I guess. Not on any of the gabapentin or any of that. Don't need any of that. Okay, then I got on the collagen. That was just amazing. I couldn't believe that I'm walking upright and not I mean, everybody that knows me knows that my knees separate and I get stuck places where I can't move, can't get up, can't put weight on my knees. My husband and everybody around me have to help me up out of every seat because I can't get up by myself. I've hurt my shoulder from pushing up on everything, right? September 1st, hit the ground running in the ministry, and people, my friends were saying, you need to slow down. What are you doing? Because they know if I do too much, I'm going to be down for maybe weeks at a time. But
So,
I mean,
so what happened? Tell us what you did. What made the difference?
I took the collagen. It was the collagen. When I started taking that collagen, I don't know, I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't looking for it to do that. I just know how science works. And when I see you and the doctor come on and explain and break down how something works, then I know that makes sense. So take it. I don't know what it's going to do, but I know it makes sense. So I decided to try it.
So are you saying that prior to your taking Collagen Daily, you couldn't stand up? You had to have assistance to stand up. Your knees were in pain. What, did you need knee replacement surgery or something? Was that, and you just didn't want to do it?
Right. Because I have so much nerve damage, they said that the recovery from the surgery would be so bad for me that they were just trying to avoid it as long as they could. They said, we're going to have to avoid this as long as we can because the recovery from the surgery would, the rehab and the surgery was so damaging. So they said I wouldn't be able to do it. We knew that because of previous surgery. I had a torn meniscus. So I've been walking around with two torn meniscus and just bone on bone.
So you're bone on bone. And now are you telling me, you said that you got out of the car and went to the grocery store. So talk to us. Tell us what you started taking Collagen Daily and now you're walking around.
Yeah. And my husband always has to go in and I have to sit in the car. And I tell you, he pulled up at the door and I said, I'm going in. He couldn't believe it. And then we went somewhere else. And so, look, it has not gotten worse. I keep looking for it to revert back, but it's not. I was on my feet a lot since September 1st. So yesterday, we were out a long time. And everybody kept saying, you better cool it. You're going to be down. So I said, okay, I'm going to take a day off. I took the day off, but I'm going back out tomorrow.
So you're out, you're literally walking around and back to yourself again. How long has it been since you've been walking around like this, Adelina?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know.
5 years?
I mean, I still have pain in my body or, I still have pain, but it's nothing like suffering.
But you're walking around now.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And you believe that it's because of Collagen Daily.
Oh yeah. And even when I sit, my knees would separate and I have to wait, straighten my leg out and try to knock it back in position. Both of them was doing that. It hasn't done that in, what did I tell you, about 2 weeks? And that was like several times a day.
Wow.
When I would sit and bend my knees, it would separate. It would get dislocated.
Wow.
And it has not been dislocated now for about 2 weeks. I think it's been about a good 2 weeks.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So that is the best thing because, it's been hard for me to get around.
Mm-hmm. Well, it can be debilitating if you're not in control of yourself and not able to use your limbs and you're dependent on others.
And I've fallen a lot also because my knee just give out.
Wow.
Yeah.
The things we take for granted. Well, Adelina, thank you very much for sharing your story. You're one of the first that is sharing with us a story other than the Michi Morris situation. So yours now is showing the benefits in the rest of the body, in the joints. So thank Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing your updates on this. So make sure that you tell us, new things that you learn about how your body's working. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So there you have it, folks. Just some of the benefits of taking and adding Collagen Daily into your diet. So let's make a shift now. We want to hear some of what happened today with Dr. Roberts and Dave Nemelka at the infamous Lunch and Learn that most of us missed today. So, Jeff, tell us what's going on. You got the floor. Enlighten us. We got Jeff muted. We've muted Jeff. Okay, well, while we're waiting for Jeff, let's see if anyone has any questions first. Any questions?
Dr. Jones, this is Dr. Pacola Roberts, and the question was asked for me today. If I would have to select the collagen or the probiotics, because my budget will not allow me to get both, would you suggest the probiotics or the collagen? And which one should I wait for? Could you elaborate and let me see if I answered that correctly?
Wow, that's a hard question because it, the one thing that we're not supposed to do is answer a question with a question.
You are brilliant, sir.
Because the question that I have is, what's her biggest problem?
Okay.
Hold on. It's like I'm dying again. What is the biggest problem that the person has? Are they having gastrointestinal issues? Are they dealing with some sort of GI problem that would make their gut issues be the main priority? Or are they dealing with some joint problems and memory loss and other problems? What really is most important to them? What's their biggest need?
Okay, I see what you're saying. So that is the way I should have answered it. The way I answered it was that the probiotics is connected with the brain. The gut is connected with the brain, and that whenever you do the probiotics, it makes everything in the body work better. And as soon as you can get the collagen and get it in the body. It was not that kind of issue. It was more of cancer prevention because someone in their family had just died from cancer.
Okay. Okay, so there's a cancer issue involved.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Nakuzi, when I told him that Dr. Prasad had released a Collagen Daily, his statement to me was collagen has application in cancer. I still haven't gotten it clear as to what that application is with cancer, but that was one of the first things he said. So your answer was probably actually more correct in that person's case. And I do 100% agree that that collagen overall has greater benefits. So if a person is not immediately having serious gut or digestive issues, then absolutely they would do better, would be better served to to go with the collagen first as a priority rather than going with the probiotic, because they can all back to the probiotic and get their health under control that way. So you're right in going that right. So you didn't do her wrong.
Well, we're going to assist her in getting the collagen as soon as possible. So I'm just going to pay it forward and make sure that she has both, because she absolutely needs both.
That would be
okay.
a
We see
thing.
Jeff's face. We ready to roll, Jeff?
Yes, we're ready to roll
Absolutely.
again. Thank you for that question.
Yep. Here we go. It was amazing this morning. Thank you, Dr. Roberts, for putting all of this together. So here we are.
Tell the people why it's so important to you to have Micro Daily available for the veterans.
Well, number one, the legacy of our company is the veterans. We would not have Micro Daily, which was originally called Military Micronutrient Formulation, if it wasn't for the U.S. military. So how do you say thanks to the people who basically enabled and empowered your company to even exist? So in my mind, it's a thank you because of the legacy of our product with the military, but also it's another thank you to you and all of the veterans that have served and sacrificed so much to give us this freedom and the opportunity to live in America, which I love our country deeply and dearly, and I am forever thankful to you and so many others who have genuinely put it all on the line so that we can be blessed and benefited. So that's the kind of the foundation of the idea around our veterans program. And it's so exciting to see so many veterans benefiting and their families, to hear the story of the families that are benefiting from the veterans program and the Micro Daily. You know, you were talking about how as veterans, you really physically suffered and struggled a lot being in the military. You know, you lived in harsh conditions, and many of you who are veterans were in Iraq and Afghanistan. And by the way, I have personally been to Afghanistan. I know how harsh that environment is. In fact, I had a kidney stone at 17,000 feet that was very challenging.
Wow.
So I know what, I have a sense for the sacrifice that has been given there. And so, you know, everybody, pretty much everyone, especially here in America, we're all micronutrient deficient. So when I think of veterans who are not getting the nutrition they need and they're micronutrient deficient and they're under all of this stress and all of these difficulties, what better gift can we give than to deliver micronutrients that will help basically solve that deficiency and help them be the best and healthiest person they can be. So that's the core foundation and essence behind our products. And how gifted and blessed are we with Dr. Prasad. By the way, I texted Dr. Prasad. I've not heard back from him, so I don't know why he's not on, but we'll find out. Dr. PK, I'm here for you. You know, this is the joy of my day, the pleasure of my life, the blessing of being a part of the engaged family is to share spirits and hearts and enthusiasm and blessings with one another. So I'm here for you today on this call for however and for whatever you would wish.
Well, thank you. Thank you so very much. We are on the call for 30 minutes, Monday through Friday, just 30 minutes to help people understand that this is the company that you want to be connected with right now. And so the question that I know that some of our newcomers would be asking is, why do you think that your product is better than any other supplement out there? Because there are so many to choose from right now. Yeah. And so how would you answer them in asking that question? What makes us so great?
Well, I don't think about it. You know, I come from venture capital. My career before I started Engage was funding companies. We've funded multiple billions of dollars. We have companies on the New York Stock Exchange, the American Exchange, NASDAQ that we took public. And so my life has been doing due diligence and making investments of significant amounts of capital in businesses. And so Engage was not started on a whim. Engage was not started on a prayer. Engage was started on the most scientifically sound and fundamental research that has ever been conducted in the history of supplementation. And when I saw that research as a venture capital investor, I knew there was something special. And then when I learned about who Dr. Prasad is, I mean, my goodness, world's first radiation biology PhD, Nobel Prize Committee for Medicine, 30-year professor at the University of Colorado Medicine for Doctors, a decade as president of the National Society for Cancer Nutrition. Now he's got 30 books published, of which you just shared one. There's many on Amazon you can buy. You go to PubMed, there's over 450 citations of his research. Why is ours the best? Because we have the most scientifically validated supplements in the world. And then here is the even more exciting piece of it. The literally thousands and thousands of people who are taking our micronutrients that are experiencing their micronutrient deficiencies being alleviated and even eliminated, and the benefits they're having in their life. Those testimonies on the ground, which you are sharing, those personally have changed my life. I started Engage as an investment, and now today Engage is a purpose. I bought my original partners out. I divested myself of all of my other business interests, and I've stepped in as CEO. And this is my mission and purpose in life. So why is our product the best in the world? Because let's just start with, nobody else has Dr. Prasad, and nobody else has $24 million invested in the science behind it. Nobody has the patents. Yeah, we have, Dr. Prasad has 7 patents awarded, another 3 patents pending. How does it get any better than that? And then I would ask everyone else, do you know who formulated the supplements you've been taking? How many of you personally know the man who did or formulated your supplements? And you're going to trust someone you don't know for your health, like Centrum. So like when I was at Procter & Gamble after my graduate school at the Wharton Business School, my first job was looking at the vitamin industry. They were looking at acquiring Centrum. Well, P&G did not acquire Centrum. Do you know who did? Pfizer. Pfizer owns Centrum, a drug company. You seriously think they're going to give you the best supplements in the world? Absolutely not. So why do I believe, in fact, why do I have a conviction and a testimony that ours are the best? Because we've got the facts to disapprove it. And the story also.
I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't take much for me to get happy and for me to want to shout.
Yeah.
But you just did that thing. You gave me a health and wellness sermon right there, right quick, on what makes us, not what makes me think that we are the best, but to know that we are the best.
That's right.
When we know without a shadow of a doubt that the person who formulated our products will put his name on each and every package. And his CQF. Say again?
And his CQF seal, his certification of combination quality and form, that this is exactly what has been validated and what you need to deal with your micronutrient deficiencies. And so, yeah, we are all willing to put our name, our hearts, our souls, our lives, our reputations, everything we have on the line. So how do we believe? How about let's say we have it all on the line for these products and what we're doing? That's how much.
Absolutely.
Pretty incredible. I mean, goodness, Dr. Roberts, amazing. You can just like Bernard is saying, I truly feel his passion as Star Trek happens. Let's go.
I'm ready to shout again. I'm ready to shout right now. This thing is off the chain, crazy bad. This is some good stuff.
It really is. And I used to think it was just an exaggeration in the past. And I still remember when Jeff pulled up to my house and all this noise he was spewing out about how great this product was. And I was saying to myself, blah, 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 blah. Until he showed me that patent that included the words treatment for diabetes. And I had to eat a plate full of crow meat. By the way, if you slice the crow meat across the grain and saute it in mushroom and a little bit of wine sauce, it goes down not so bad. It goes down not so bad. So I got all kinds of recipes for eating crow meat because I've been eating crow meat ever since that day. No question about it. It's pretty good. I'm starting to like it now. So absolutely. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful product. And it is, in my personal opinion, I agree now, it is the best on the planet. I don't think dollar for dollar that there's a better product anywhere in the world than Micro Daily right now. And Dr. Prasad is proving it over and over and over again. Every time we interview him, he proves his brilliance because he just spews out things that takes us to school every single time. So keep in mind, folks, that we're going to be interviewing him again this coming Sunday at 5 o'clock. We're focusing on the heart this week. And special guests that we did not announce this past Sunday is that David Nemelka is going to be there for our business meeting right after this discussion with Dr. Prasad. We're going to have the business meeting of business meetings with the CEO is going to be at that meeting. He's going to spend the time with us, and I got some questions for him. And so we're going to be hearing something out of Mr. David Nemelka this coming Sunday. So make sure that you have everybody there. Make sure you have your business leaders there, your business people, your business prospects. They will be there. And we may have to expand the Zoom account, though, because I think we're limited somewhere around 300 But so tell your folks that need to get there nice and early to be there, because we had over 211, I think, this past weekend. Oh, you know what we'll do is we'll make sure that the Zoom link is available. Not the Zoom link, but the YouTube live stream link is available. So if we do happen to exceed the capacity, folks can just get on live, and that
That's
way
good.
we'll have the overflow
That's good.
there. So we had about 30, I think, 30 on the live stream, I think, too, on Sunday, Jeff, I believe. So we had 211 plus 29. So that's 34. So that's 240. That means we had 240 attending live on Sundays. That's pretty good. So with Dave Nemelka coming this coming Sunday as well, it's going to be a game over for this month. So everybody just kind of hold on to your hat, because you don't want that thing to blow off in the wind. So that's going to wrap up our discussion for now. We do have a 30-minute business meeting we're going to do right now. So if you're here for the first time and you're wondering if this is an opportunity, you might want to stick around for a few minutes, because we have the only ambassador in the company with us right now, Jeff Ashby. And we're going to have a little discussion about the business opportunity associated with Engage Global. So if you want to stick around, you can do so. So this officially ends the product presentation portion of our meeting, and we're going to transition in just a second or two to the business opportunity section, okay? Thank you folks very much for joining us. And by the way, I always have to get this in. Testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust when making a decision about your health and well-being. Do not misunderstand what we've been saying here. Nutritional supplements such as Micro Daily, Collagen Daily, Brain Boost, and anything else, these are not a treatment or cure for any disease state. Talk to your doctor. Thank you.
Jonathan, before everybody leaves, may I please just put a plug in here for the Veterans 1000 project, our Project 1000 for veterans, and
Absolutely.
the fact that our business is the only opportunity I know where people get 50% discount on their product each and every day. And so we are wanting to get the word out to the veterans, and I need the help of everybody. We would like to get 1,000 veterans exposed and using these products by November 11th, which is Veterans Day. I can't do this by myself, but together we can make this happen. And tomorrow on Lunch and Learn, Dr. Prasad is going to be there talking a little bit about the Veterans Program, and I'm going to be promoting his book on tomorrow, because he deserves all of the support that we can give him, however we can give it to him, whenever we can give it. And that is what we're going to be doing on tomorrow. Thank you for the time, Jonathan. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We have another gentleman that's going to be coming on board, and I haven't been able to connect with him, but he's connected to a large veterans group. So I'll make sure he knows about it, and can release that information as well to that. So thank you very much. Okay, so let's talk about the business for a hot minute here.
Yeah.
Jeff, while we have you, and we know you've got to go, but while we have you, tell us how long you've been associated with Engage Global. Just tell us that part first.
Yeah, this is going into our 10th year of being associated with David and Dr. Prasad.
Now the company just hit 10 years. So are you trying to tell me that you were there at the genesis?
Not in the very beginning. No, somebody told somebody who told somebody who told somebody, and gosh, they gave us a sample of product, and we had some pretty amazing experiences, primarily with my dad, who had suffered a stroke, and somebody thought enough of us. In fact, we called upline and said, "Hey, this is going on." And I got my mom on the phone with them, and they met my mom off of the side of the freeway, and gave her some of these original packs, and said, "I want your husband or dad in the situation to to take 3 times the dose. So instead of doing 2 capsules in the morning and 2 capsules in the evening, it was 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening. And in 24 hours, that changed. And then we took a serious look at it, had some people over to our home, and every Tuesday night we were doing just like what we are right here. We were sending people out with a week's supply and saying, come on back and let's share testimonies. What's happened to you this week? And then they would bring more people, and they would bring more people. And so this whole concept of virtual in-home presentation, we used to have to wait an entire week before we would hear people's stories. And now we can do it 3 times a week, or in the case of Lunch and Learns, every weekday. So it's just a matter of getting the word out, and now's the time.
Interesting. So you heard about it through someone who through someone. Are those folks now still between you and the company, or where are those folks?
There's one person that I think is still getting a check. That's really all I'm aware of. The others have just gone off chasing other bright and shiny objects, and I don't want to run out and encourage him, to go and reactivate at this point, because
Right.
some of them we shared the same list, and I just
Okay.
have them for myself.
Okay, so I'm trying to get folks to just kind of wrap their mind around this. As it stands right now, there is maybe one person between Jeff and Helen Ashby and the company. Okay, so now in any other company, Jeff is practically the master distributor. So that's the very, very beginning. So even if we don't give him the master distributor classification, he's still the only ambassador rank distributor in the company right now. So my next question to you is, why did you stick around for so long? Why in the world, if you're just now reaching the, and by the way, this is not me asking Jeff a question. This is me informing the audience now. An ambassador, you can look it up in the compensation plan. The health advocate level first, right? Affiliate is the very beginning. Then it's health advocate 1, 2, 3. And then there's freedom 1, 2, 3. Those are 3 levels. Then there's legacy 1, legacy 2, legacy 3. Legacy begins at about $5,000 a month. Legacy 2 in the predictable play plan is about $10,000 a month. Legacy 3 is about $15,000 a month. And you could just do the numbers, right? Ambassadors will be making about 20.
No, these aren't about, these are, it's 20,000.
Well, I'm giving them the about numbers because I'm trying to stay out of the FTC jail thing. And
There we go.
so about 20,000, because it also doesn't factor in customer income and all of it bonuses and all the other things. So I'm just giving you,
let's just say about
$20,000 range. So just wrap your mind around that. Now, Jeff just made the ambassador level, was it about 3-4 months ago?
This is our 3rd month. So yeah.
Third.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's taken 10 years to reach the ambassador level, because for a while their legacy was the highest level. They added the ambassador level just to give him something to reach for. But it's taken 10 years to do that. I'm here to tell you that I know that there's about 6 people that are on track to make ambassador within the next 6 months.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've paved the road. I mean, we put stripes on both sides of it. We know where your lane is. It's a nice, high quality asphalt road. Just let's go. And Jonathan, to see how quickly you've hit legacy. In fact, you're one of only 2 legacies in the entire company. We moved out of the legacy rank, and Coraline hit it, and then the next month you did. And so bam, bam, it's just happening that fast. We're seeing like Dr. Roberts, who had to go, she's already freedom. We got, Rob Martin on here. He almost hit freedom too. We've got Bernard Dean that is just, he was that close away from freedom 1 last month. And so he'll probably do the same thing, just blow right through because of the timing right now in the history of the world, Jonathan. You called it. We're a 10-year-old startup company. There are less than 10,000 people. In fact, if I were to go over and look right now in my back office, I have a total of 1,973 subscriptions. Okay, that's like nothing. Not, you know, and in fact, just to just kind of give you a little glimpse as to our growth in the last 60 days. I mean, in the last 6 days. In the last 6 days, that 1973 has gone up by 93 subscriptions.
It's popping.
Yeah, 93 subscriptions in the last 6 days in our team. That's over 15 new subscriptions a day. And you know that we're not out there selling large packs, garage qualifying anybody, having them put more on their credit card than they can consume. This is a monthly consumption business. And so you're going to buy what you're going to use. And if you're not running out by the end of the month, you're not using it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of was thinking some folks are on a budget, like the woman who mentioned in the chat that she was using a quarter scoop of collagen because she can't afford more. I think that with some coaching and she keeps sharing the product and the opportunity, her income is going to go up and she can do a whole scoop.
Yep. I do a whole scoop, you guys. It's one of those things. I'm worth a whole scoop, and the money's coming in enough to pay for a whole scoop. And so
well, she's not doing 20,000 a month yet. So,
well, you know, it's coming. It's coming. I see how quickly things are changing for you. And you're right. It goes right back to the basics. Customers. If you need some money, go get a customer. It pays 100% commission. And I shouldn't say customer, go get a subscription, whether it's it's just go get a subscription. It's going to pay 100%.
That's right.
Boom. On
right.
Thursday, every payday, Thursday is payday. Every Thursday's payday.
That's a beautiful thing. And I think that's what I think I want folks to get out of this conversation right here is that you don't need to be thinking legacy and ambassador, although it's okay. You know, from the very beginning, I asked Jeff, what's the highest position in the company? I did that. That's the other thing I asked him. I wanted to know if the diabetes part of it was for real. He proved that it was. My next question was, what's the highest position in the company? He said legacy. I said, okay, well, how long does it take to get there? And so I put together a plan to do that within 1 year. And then there was some ups and downs with the company. And so things got kind of derailed a little bit. So that's the only thing that slowed it down. And when I say to you derailed, that's to let you know a 10-year-old company, there's going to be some times when the wheels fall off the tracks. It happens. But once you pass that 10-year mark, you know who and what you are, and you know what you have. You got a lot of things figured out. That's why this is an opportunity. So the problems that Jeff went through, the problems that I went through, I still remember one of my affiliates, they were called consultants at the time. He wrote a letter to the company, and because he was waiting for his product to come. He says, well, I just Googled it on Google Map. He says, if my product had been written, if someone had gotten on a bicycle and rode the bicycle from Utah to me, it would be here by now. So he was complaining about the poor performance at the time. Whole new day today. Those problems are long gone. Bernard Dean said to me, I can't believe it. I ordered on Friday. My product came on Tuesday. And that was the end of it for him. He was completely sold. Not the fact that he felt better than he felt in his entire life. The fact that he ordered on Friday and got it on Tuesday convinced him. So think about it, folks. It's a 10-year-old startup company. It's just beginning now. And it's hitting a stride right now. So what can you do? Jeff, what piece of advice would you give someone right now who's trying to figure out what to do? I think they understand now it is a real opportunity. So step 1, step 2, step 3, give me that.
You know what? It is all right what we did in the very beginning, and it is get product out into people's hands. It's so much easier to go out and just say, hey, can I send you a sample, a free sample? And then while they're waiting for their sample to come, say, you know what? Every day at noon, we got a 30-minute, you got to jump on that, and if you want to dig deeper into it a little bit, you've got opportunities every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday to learn a little bit more about it. We're not going to talk about the money. We're not going to push the opportunity. You're going to come for education. And, Wednesdays, I mean, out of the 4 Wednesdays that they're typically in a month, 2 of those are devoted to Dr. Prasad. Now you've got Dr. Prasad every Sunday. So every Wednesday and every Sunday, we got Dr. Prasad, and every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, we've got somewhere for people to go and learn. And then it's just a matter. I was on a phone call with somebody today, and she says, everybody that I have brought to one of the Zooms wants the product. Specifically, if I've sent them a sample and I'm saying, hey, come and learn a little bit more about it. Don't come thinking I'm going to sell you on anything. Come just because I want you to know what's on its way to you in the mail.
Now that's interesting, because Adnalina just said that. She said she learned something. She heard the science, and she heard a doctor, the guy who formulated it, speaking the science about it. And that made her think, I need to put this in my body. And she's walking around now because of what she learned about the product. So step 1, get the samples out. Step 2, get your prospects to meetings. Step 3,
get a subscription out of them. That's it.
Okay.
And start them as a preferred customer. I mean, just start them as a preferred customer.
Big deal right there, folks. Listen to that. Go ahead.
Start them as a preferred customer. Oh, but I want to share. Let's get your own experience first. Oh, but I really want to share. Let's get your own experience first. It's $30 down, a week from now. In fact, I've told people, you know what? I'll pay your $30. Start out as a preferred customer, get your own experience. Then you can use some of my samples. And when you got 3 people ready to go, I'll pay your $30 and we'll go out and get you 3 affiliates, if that's the way that you want to go. In fact, better yet, let's go, let's sign them up as customers, because you really are going to make more off of a preferred customer with a subscription, than you ever will an affiliate who never shares it with anybody else.
Amen on that one. Remember that, folks. Remember, you heard it from the ambassador, the only ambassador in the company right now. I want to show you something, and pay careful attention. Pay careful attention. I'm going into my wife's Engage Global app. Okay. And this is where the samples are that I'm showing you right now. And I just want you to see something. It's not hard to get sample credits. The company gives you sample credits. Every time you sign up a customer, you get sample credits. She's been sandbagging all these sample credits. You see how many sample credits she has there? Yeah, so it's time to get busy.
And those sample credits are now good for 90 days. So get them out there. You got 90 days and 43 of them. That means you're going to be sending one out every other day to keep up with it. So
yep. So get the credits out, and that's how you know how many credits you have. And by the way, if you don't have any sample credits, they're only $4.99 to buy them. And you can buy a pack. You can buy a bundle of them for $50, right?
Yep, 10 of them for 50. I mean, yep, that's it. 10 for $50.
10 for $50. And you've got your own your credits, and send them out. The company sends it out for you. Get them out, and the meetings are already set up. So we have meetings already lined up, no problem. And by the way, this is an announcement I was supposed to make earlier. Our Tuesday meeting is normally at 7:30. Starting next week, we're moving it to 7 o'clock. We're moving it to 7 o'clock. That will allow us to have Jeff more on our meetings, because he's got other commitments. So we're trying to make room to make sure we have Jeff included on our Tuesday meetings more often. We need the ambassadors in the company available to us whenever we need them. So starting next week, we'll be moving to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. on our Tuesday meetings. So Sunday, 5 p.m., Tuesday, 7 p.m., Thursday, 6 p.m. So 576. That's all you got to remember is 576. And that's that's for my meetings. And
That's
then every
fantastic.
noon, Monday through Friday, every noon is Dr. Roberts Lunch and Learn. Okay.
Yep. And like today, we were almost 80 people on Lunch and Learn. So
Wow.
it's a fantastic place to just go and spend a half an hour. I know tomorrow morning's going to be Dr. Prasad on there. So it's a fantastic place to go. Feel confident and comfortable with your contacts going there on their own, because we are always recommending that they follow back up with the person who provided the link for them and continue to get their questions answered.
Mhm. There's no cross recruiting in any meetings. It doesn't happen. So, and we want folks to feel fully confident that that's not going to happen. So you can trust that. On Sundays, we're collaborating together. The legacy team leaders and some of the growth team leaders, we're collaborating together. We're going to be creating about 10 different breakout rooms. So every Sunday after the business meeting is over with, there's going to be about 30 minutes of training on a variety of topics: the compensation plan, getting started, compensation plan, advanced compensation plan, maybe some marketing training, all kinds of things. So there'll be about 10 different breakout rooms. You'll be able to choose what lane you want to be in. So those breakout rooms will be all set up right after those business meetings. So we can look forward to that going forward. And we may even start doing that same formula on other meetings, but know that that's going to be the case on Sundays after the business meeting. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And then as we continue to grow, there truly is going to be, and I'm set up right now every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday with a meeting every hour. And so if you're not able to get a particular one, or there's a schedule conflict, know that I'll be there, sharing videos, helping people, from, just 3-hour blocks. In fact, we're even doing Hawaii at 11 p.m. for me, which is making it acceptable for Hawaiian time. So now is the time to build, you guys. I'm leaning into this. We will have a couple of additional ambassadors by the end of this year, and just run with us. It is so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very good. Very good. And Jeff, thank you very much. And a correction in the chat, Daryl, correction. 576, no more 7:30. Tuesday is changing to 7 p.m. So if you don't mind, change that one. Okay, good. So 7 p.m. on Tuesday. So we're on the top of the hour each week. So each of the meetings, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 576. So Jeff, we can't thank you enough, and we congratulate you again on your success, and for paving the way for us. It's making it possible for all of us to now start to see the
and
path
one
is-
last thing, Jonathan, because it's all subscription based, and we have such an incredible retention rate. We're not seeing large ups and downs in the checks. In fact, they just continue to rise and rise and rise. All we're doing is we're just adding some new subscriptions. And we know sometimes, finances get difficult and somebody will back off their subscriptions. But I can tell you, at 93 subscriptions in the last 6 days, you can only imagine that our retention rate being what it is, the cancellations, and I get to see that as well in the last 6 days, is such a drop in the bucket compared to our growth. But that's it. It is so fun to be in a company that is just watching the subscription volume and not the wild, pack sales to begin with. And everybody's going to go out and make, beach money in their first 90 days. This is get some preferred customers with a subscription. So
that's a beautiful thing. I'm bringing Bernard Dean onto the screen here, because Bernard has had some success in some other companies, and I understand, Jeff, if you have to jump off, but I want to hear his comment of what he just heard in this business meeting, and where do you see you are? I mean, you come over from other companies, so talk to us, Bernard. Where do you see this going?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna just be honest with you on the way I feel about it. I'm at the bottom. It's just like getting on a ship and you put a mop in my hand. And even though I have a mop and I'm mopping the ship, I don't care because I'm on the ship. I'm gonna ride along with the ship until the captain notices me and maybe give me a promotion. There's a lot of people, and I'm referring to Daryl and Rob, and I think there's a Dr. Picola.
Yes,
There's a lot
Nicole.
of people on here that deserve this a lot more than me. And I'm just along for the ride. So I have to tell y'all something. I've been looking for this company for a long time. And I left a company that's now on television. Every time they see them come on TV, I almost want to go in and throw eggs at it because I was at almost $30,000 a month. They snatched it overnight. And every time I see them come on, I just cringe. But I've been waiting for this company for about 12 years. And so for those of you that are on here, I believe that everybody on here have the potential to be an ambassador. I believe the only thing stand between you and being an ambassador is your belief level. Your belief level. But remember, this is network marketing. It's not net look at, it's not net sleep, not less out net out play with it. It's network marketing. And what it does is it's a direct sales. You know, I didn't say multi-level. I said it's networking, which means that if you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, talking to people for about 6 months to a year, uncomfortable for 6 months to a year, you can go anywhere you want on this planet, lay on the beach. And you know how they fire people because they go to a job? We have people in all 50 states and Canada. And we never have to look back again because our people don't stop working because we're laying on the beach. People, I'm gonna tell you something. I see the vision. If you don't do anything, get the vision. Get the vision. Don't let nobody take it away from you. Everybody tell you what you can't do, but nobody tell you what you need to do to make it to the next level. So Jeff is the ambassador right now, and Jonathan and a couple others, maybe legacy. But in my opinion, the biggest leaders are yet to come. And probably it's going to be you if you remember that network marketing is disguised in overalls. And all we have to do is do our best. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
And I've got to run. So well said, Bernard. And I was going to stick here until you were done because you and Rob and these others, Alfreda, I just love it. At the end of the interview, Jonathan, that you did with David Bonas or David B. Alfreda jumps in and she says, "I'm so glad you listened." Yeah. And that's what really gets me every time. We're thinking it's a little uncomfortable, like Bernard just mentioned. It's just, I'm so glad you listened because she's there hearing David's testimony. So I got to run. Thanks, guys.
Very good. Thank you very much, Jeff. All right, folks. So everybody, you guys have a good night. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate your presence, and bring a guest. We'll be here Thursday at 6 p.m. Jeff will probably host the meeting on Thursday at 6 p.m. So make sure that you're here for that. And then Sunday, start getting the invitation out right now. Line people up Sunday at 5 o'clock. We have Dr. Prasad. We're talking about the heart on Sunday at 5 o'clock. And the business meeting is going to include Dave Nemelka, the owner and CEO of the company. He's going to be on with us for the business meeting at 6 o'clock after the discussion with the doctor. So thank you once again. Appreciate you being here. You guys have a good night.
Have a good night.
Let's go.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Great job,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you so
Jonathan.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Great
Good
job,
night,
Jonathan.
everybody.
Night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Appreciate y'all.
Good
All
night.
right. Thank
Good
you.
night.